Fish populations in the park cannot withstand such heavy fishing pressure. Populations of snappers, sweetlips and other species of value have fallen to a low level, and the size of those that are left is small. This young sweetlips has little chance of helping to build up the population because it will almost certainly be caught before it has had the chance to breed. There are no big garoupas left on the reefs in the park, and even the smaller rock cods are scarce. Some fishermen hunt for them using cyanide, which drugs them so that they can be caught live for the restaurant trade. Use of this poison is illegal, but goes on because big profits can be made. Populations of fish in the park should recover if destructive fishing is stopped and legitimate fishing is controlled, so that not too much is taken. Fish and other marine produce from the waters around Semporna are a vital resource for people in this locality. Many of the fish that come into the market are pelagic species such as mackerel, sardines and scads, and it will still be possible to fish for these in the open water areas of the park. Others come from the reef, and it is these species that have been especially overexploited. Even though sharks still turn up in the market, they have all but disappeared from reefs in the park. Land animals have also been overexploited. At one time, bearded pig and sambar deer used to roam the main islands, but it seems that both have now been hunted to extinction. Many of the valuable timber trees have also been taken out. We can also see the human imprint on the islands where coastal forest has been cleared for agriculture. One of the main objectives of the Semporna Islands Darwin project is to work with people who live in the park and find solutions to these problems.
Nah, iti payukan, iti bokko. Masuk payukan. Iti lugar pakai kasih alat.
Plans for how best to use the area and its resources in a sustainable way have been prepared and presented at workshops in Semporna, leading to intense discussion and useful feedback. The project has also been organising boat shows in order to meet communities living on the islands and discuss plans for management of the park.
Perintah mamatta itu baik, kami mon. Dari kami itu pasod nisi.
This has involved travelling to settlements in the park, setting up displays and explaining the project aims. Responses to proposals on how to manage the area are being recorded through interviews, and these views are helping in the development of regulations. Interactive activities for adults have helped to record local knowledge, such as place names and the occurrence of rare species. Children have had fun with sticker books and competitions and have learnt more about the marine environment at the same time. The proposed zoning plan has been one of the topics under discussion. Zoning is widely used in park management to promote conservation and minimise conflicts. One of the key elements of the zoning plan is the creation of sanctuary areas where fishing and harvesting of other marine life is prohibited. If this can be achieved, then fish stocks have a chance to recover. In the lagoon off Bohedulang, fishing has been prohibited for many years and fish are flourishing around the jetty. So too are the giant clams, which are numerous here, but very rare on all the other reefs in the park. Fishing and harvesting of marine resources in the general use zones around Sabangkat, Salakan, Maiga and the outside of the main islands will be allowed, but with regulations to prevent over-exploitation. Traditional line fishing is one of the most widely used methods in the park, and this will be allowed everywhere except in the sanctuary zones. There are few problems with line fishing, provided it is monitored and restricted to the local community. Octopus fishing is another important activity which should be sustainable if some basic rules are followed. The method itself should cause no damage as the crab lure hops over the terrain, trying to tempt octopus out. Sea cucumbers are another very important natural resource. They used to be much more plentiful, but heavy collecting pressure has caused their numbers to decline. This needs to be controlled in order to conserve populations. Similarly, limits will need to be set for the number, type and size of trap or net that can be used for fish and shellfish, and the quantity and type of species that can be taken. Options are currently being discussed with local fishermen in order to find the best solutions. Recently, the project team met with the local community on Selakan to discuss the collection of animals from reef and mangrove areas that can be reached at low tide. People here have a huge amount of knowledge which they are keen to share, so that a plan for sustainable use can be put together. Another target of the SIDP program is to identify species and habitats that are under threat or in decline and need special protection. The bumphead wrasse is one of these threatened species. This picture was taken on Sepadan, where bumpheads grow to a large size because no one is allowed to catch them. There are no individuals of this size left in the Tun Sakaran Marine Park, but if conservation action is taken, there is no reason why they should not return. If the Tun Sakaran Marine Park is to remain a viable fishing area and keep its title as regional centre of biodiversity, then some regulations and restrictions are essential. To counterbalance this, the project is encouraging alternative livelihoods that take pressure off the area's natural resources. Seaweed farming is a good example. This is already well established in the area and provides people with a steady income. The procedures are straightforward and have virtually no environmental impact. Plants are grown on strings in shallow, well-lit waters around the islands. After the seaweed has been dried, it is exported for a wide variety of uses. Other types of sea farming are also being developed. Trials on ranching of giant clams are already underway and are showing good results. Local people were shown how to make the cages and set them up. They are kept close to the villages for security.